Hi everyone, and welcome to this drawing video. In this video I'm working on a Copic marker and pencil sketch of Doctor Strange. One of my patrons on my Patreon page asked for a sketch of Doctor Strange using whatever materials I wanted to use, so it was nice to have that freedom. I initially wasn't going to record this drawing for a video, and I was just going to post the photos on my social media. But at the last minute, once I worked on the sketch and I'd got the side portraits down along with the background and started figuring out the composition, that's when I decided that I'd actually pull out the camera and start recording. It was because I was going to be trying out different materials together by using the graphite pencil and the Copic marker together, just testing what they would look like, so I thought it would actually be a good idea to record this and see how it goes. So as you can see in this video, I started off by finishing up some of the outlines of the face, and then I proceeded to add the shading. To help smooth some of the shading of the skin textures, I used a blending stick. I found the mechanical pencil to really help with this drawing by using the sharp lead to draw the fine details of the eye and the ear and that kind of thing. It also really helped when drawing the hair and getting those really fine lines down. This drawing is much smaller than my usual drawings, so getting any fine details down was much more difficult. Once I'd finished adding shading to the face, I then moved on to the colouring of his robes, and for that I used Copic markers. I started off by using a crimson marker to add the red base colour to that part of the drawing, and then I added some extra layers over the top of that to help build up the folds in the fabric and to create that kind of effect. I also used it to create the lines for the seams and where they would be placed in the drawing later on with some extra shading. To add the darker tones of red to the drawing, I used a cardinal marker, and I used this around the areas to help increase the effect of the creases in the fabric, and I used it for the background part of the cloak as well to darken that and help push that further into the background. For the blue colour of his robes, I used a night blue Copic marker, and I used an ice blue to add some lighter areas around the outer edges of that. And then with the base colours and shading of Doctor Strange down, it was time to move on to adding a basic background, and for that I used a cool grey number 7. It's nice and dark, which gave me the opportunity to add some outlines going around the outside of Doctor Strange to help him stand out from the page. It also really helps to show up the bright colours of his robes. Once I'd finished adding the blocks of shading in the background, it was time to move on to the next part of the drawing, and for that I used a black Copic multi-liner pen to add some thick black outlines to some parts of the robes and to add some fine outlines to some areas of his face, just to help those areas stand out from the background and to help push the character forward from the background as a whole. I made sure to add some thicker outlines around the outer edges of the robes and around some of the darker shaded areas. And it was at this point as well that I used the cool grey markers to add some extra shading to the robes, especially around his collar and around the darkened shaded areas of like creases and folds that you can see in the background and around his shoulder. With that done, I then used the Uni-ball highlighter pen to add some extra highlights around his clothing, and then I used it to create an outline going all the way around Doctor Strange to help push him out from the background. And this is a method that I absolutely love using in my drawings, especially where I have a comic panel in the background. Having those white outlines going around the outer edges of a character can really help to push them out into the foreground. After that was done, I then used the multi-liner and the Uni-ball highlighter pen to add some extra detailing to the symbol in the background. And as a final touch, I used the multi-liner pen to add a thick black outline going around Doctor Strange. Please let me know what you think of this drawing in the comments below, and let me know what you think of this style. If you enjoy videos like this, then make sure you're subscribed, and any likes or shares in this video are hugely appreciated, and it really means a lot to me. If you want to follow me on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram and follow along with the progress photos throughout the week, then be sure to check out the links in the description box below. And once again, thank you so much for the support on this channel. It means so much to me and I love working on these videos. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you all soon.